Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 28, part 1. This is Wednesday, the 15th of July, 2020, and this is Barry Field with part 1 with you in the studio. Well, today I went to the doctors and got cleared, and I am trialing some new medication. I won't tell you what this new medication is on the show, but what I can tell you is the doctor and I had a good chat and everything is well, and I am going back to work tomorrow after my recent visit to Northern Beaches Hospital the week before. So, today on the show, I'd like to talk about homemade dumplings. So, what are dumplings? Well, dumplings are made with a delicious filling, whether they are sweet or savory. And tonight we are having homemade dumplings for dinner. And I can tell you, when I went past the kitchen this morning, they smell absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to try them. And like I've always been saying on the show during the lockdown, sanitize. Now, sanitization of your hands is very important, guys, but I will get to that at the end of today's show. So, like I've said, this is episode 28 and part 1. So, like I said, I went to the doctors this morning, and I can tell you I had a pretty good yarn with him and came back happy. And got the clearance to go back to work tomorrow, which I am happy about. And I am trialing some new medication, like I said, but I can't tell you what it is on the show because it is confidential stuff. So, on the subject of doctors, which I will talk about also today on the show, okay, please be on time for your appointment, and I will talk about that later on in today's show. But what I'd like to say now that it is great to be able to communicate with the doctor and let him listen to my concerns about things that are arising, and that's exactly what we went to the doctor to discuss this morning. So I am pretty happy with the way things panned out at the appointment this morning, and the doctor at Vale was very good. He listened to what my concerns were, and that's what made the appointment so enjoyable. Now on the show, on episode 28 for this Wednesday, the 15th of July, I'd like to talk about how important it is to stick to the subject when you attend a doctor's appointment. Always talk about relevant concerns with the doctor, and listen to what the doctor has to say, and don't get upset. If you don't agree with what a doctor is saying, please address the doctor in a polite, respectful manner, because the doctors deserve respect, not rudeness. So if you are concerned about something, address it with the doctor during the consultation of your appointment. Don't leave the surgery and realize, oh, I forgot to mention this to the doctor when I was in his office. So always get everything cleared with the doctor before you leave the surgery and don't leave it until the very last moment. Before you go in to see the doctor, always have your relevant paperwork ready, such as your medication authority form, the list of medications that you are on, okay, and make sure that you have a blank medication authority form so that the doctor can start you with some new medication, which is what he did with me this morning at the appointment. And another thing I'd like to talk about today is being honest with the doctor and not lying to the doctor, because the doctors will not put up with that. So if you do go to the doctors, guys, please be absolutely honest with the doctor and don't tell him lies, because he won't be happy, or she will not be happy at all. So please tell him or her the truth when you are at the appointment, and always stick to the subject. It is really important, guys, to be on time for your doctor's appointment. And if the doctor's appointment is at 9 a.m., please leave your house 20 minutes before your appointment, or if it's going to take you an hour to get to the appointment, leave home at 8 a.m. so that you can be on time for your appointment at 9 o'clock. And if you are unable to make the appointment, guys, phone the surgery as soon as possible so that the doctor can see another patient. It is no good ringing up and cancelling the appointment on the day, because it is very rude and off-putting to the doctor. So if you are unable to make the appointment, guys, please ring the surgery beforehand and reschedule your appointment. Don't ring up 20 minutes earlier, 20 minutes before you go for your appointment, because the staff at the doctor will at the surgery will not be impressed, and neither will the doctor. And if you are going to be late, guys, for your appointment, phone the surgery and let them know that you will be late. Coming up in part 2, why it is important to take the medication. So that's all coming up in part 2 of episode 28. And also, I've got another delicious food idea coming your way on today's show. So that's all coming up in part 2 of episode 28. Thanks for joining me here in the studio, and I will be back later on with part 2 at about 1 o'clock. So before I go to the break at nearly 25 past 11, sanitize because that is important. And remember that if you are not well, please do not come to work. That is very off-putting to your service manager and the clients at the service and even the staff. So before I go to the break, remember to sanitize and practice your social distancing. So part 2 of today's show is coming up. This is Barry Fair. It is Wednesday, the 15th of July. Thanks for joining me here in the studio today. And also we will be talking about how the homemade dumplings were made. So stay tuned for part 2 coming up at 1 o'clock. This is Barry Fair, and this is episode 28.